How you guys doing? I just want to do some bed rant. Um, I just had some thoughts. Maybe I'd like to talk to you guys about. No, nothing heavy. I've done a lot of heavy thinking in my life, and maybe lately, and sometimes I just like to take a break from that. But still gonna have. But I still have some thoughts to talk about. There's a book by Nancy Newton Verrier. It's about it's called The Primal Wound: Understanding the Adopted Child. She claims that every kid that's given up for adoption, or is, since they're given up by their natural mother, has a primal wound that never heals. I wouldn't know it. I wouldn't know whether or not I am, because I don't know what it's like to not be given up by my natural mother. But whatever. And I was talking to some of my adoptive family today, and I kind of got treated like garbage a little bit, and I realized that I have adopted family is family by name, but when the rubber meets the road, sometimes you're really not family. I'm so grateful of course I'm grateful to my dad for how he raised me. But he might not. I don't know. It just might have been different if I were. I don't know. I was raised by the right dad, but maybe I needed not to have my actual father. There's some reason for that I don't understand, but I'm happy with it. But I just don't want to expect too much. Like, for my remaining adoptive family on this earth to treat me like their family. I don't expect that. If I did, I shouldn't have, and I don't anymore. So there's that. And then, but my closest thing to family, like I've said before, is now I have two ideas that are close to family. Is my fans. You guys are very close to family to me. And lately my friends with the Mormon Church. Some of them are treating me kind of, some of them are kind of like, feels like family there too, a little bit. So that's cool. It's funny how you fans, sometimes I have a harder time in winter than other months, other parts of the year. And you fans sometimes help me get through my winter days. It helps me when you guys, support me out there when I'm walking around. It's cool. Thank you guys for that. Now about music. I was just thinking about music a little bit. I'm not changing. I love my lead playing. I love playing lead. I love that guitar has the lead capability to play single notes. There's so much to that, and it always will be my forte on guitar. It'll always be what I really am the best at on guitar. It just always will be. But I think of some great players like Eddie Van Halen, for instance, and he could really play rhythm. I mean, he could really crank out the rhythms, and I might be focusing on some of that kind of thing, and as well as my lead playing later, as I go on. Because it's challenging to me, and I like the sound of it also. The way he did Bottoms Up, for instance, or the way he did Beautiful Girls. Both those are on Van Halen 2. For some reason, that album, people put down Van Halen 2, but it really swung, maybe even more than Van Halen 1. Sure, Van Halen 1 showcased, this is Van Halen, look at us. But Van Halen 2 kind of took a step back and grooved really good, to me. I mean, I love Women Children First, the one that came after it too. That kind of went back to the gist of the first album, where they just rocked it again. And then, but Eddie could really groove, and he could play rhythm, and I think I'm gonna focus some of my attention on that kind of thing, coming up. I like when he would turn his back to the audience and groove with Alex on drums, and it would just be Alex on drums, Eddie on guitar, and I could tell he hadn't rehearsed much of this. And even if he did, it sounds great. And just rhythming out, I'm intrigued by that. I had to be intrigued by notes first, because that's the main thing about guitar to me. If you can't play notes, then go do your homework. But there's a time when also I want to groove out. I want to groove out. I want to be proficient at chords also on the guitar. I don't just want to be, but I can't play the song, you know, type of attitude, you know. I want to. In fact, I play songs that challenge me lately. You know, like I did "Free" by Stryper. I mean, I hardly ever do Stryper, and then I did "Welcome to the Jungle" by Guns N' Roses, which isn't in and of itself monumental, but I hardly practiced that. Like I only listened to it twice, and that was my rehearsal. Then I just played it. I mean, I played it before, but I just listened to it 2 times through, and I just wanted to play. I didn't want to sit there and worry about getting it down perfectly. I didn't want to get it better at it. I didn't want to hear it 5 times so I don't make a mistake. I just wanted to play. And yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it had balls, I think. It had the feeling I was trying to get out, you know, that let's just rock, you know. And I enjoyed playing it. You know, I kind of got a good feeling about both those 2 songs. I know they didn't topple the charts on my channel really, but they felt good, you know. And I'm sorry, none of those were perfect, but maybe that's not exactly what I'm after right now. I just want to feel good playing guitar. I want to rock out, and that may not always be perfect, especially when you're comparing to a record that doesn't change and is always the best take of that thing, at least for all practical purposes. It's hard to, you know, there's just bound to be mistakes here and there. It's just a question of what are the mistakes and how did they feel with the flow, and did it flow anyway, and did you enjoy it, and did the audience enjoy it, rather than, well, I made a mistake there. You know, I'm just learning to, yes, I try not to make mistakes. I don't want to make mistakes. I don't make them on purpose, otherwise it wouldn't be called mistakes. But sometimes mistakes is how I really learned, though. You know, rather than never make a mistake, and that's my learning process. Actually, I make mistakes, and then I learn from it after the fact more than you probably would think, maybe even from my mistakes. Next time I play it, it's like I got it better, you know, because I made those mistakes. That goes for my talking videos too. Sometimes I talk about physics or talk about things. Oh, I didn't mean that. That was wrong. But, you know, but by making the mistake, I learned it after the fact. Maybe that was part of my learning process, making the mistake. And the next time I try to correct it, or at least if I never did, which I would try to, at least I learned from making the mistake, you know. So, you know, life's not perfect. Sometimes you have to make a mistake to learn something. I don't know. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying all my, and the weather's getting better, so I'm having better days. But I'm enjoying all the learning I'm doing. I'm enjoying my walks now, especially if the weather's a little better than it was in January. I'm enjoying guitar playing. I'm like, oh, I never really wanted to play rhythm like I do right now. Like I'm expressing right now, I never really had that thought in my life, ever. Like rhythm was something I just had to do because it was necessary to get to play lead. But then I decided about 10 years ago that I was going to quit guitar if I didn't learn rhythm theory and didn't learn to play songs. And I didn't quit because I did learn those things. But now I'm at the point where I actually want to do those things better and work on those things. You know, it's not like so I think that's cool. And then I'm learning from the Book of Mormon. I'm learning too. So anyway, I'm learning a lot, and I don't know. I want to reiterate 30 years ago when I called my Grandpa Rex, my dad's dad, and I told him I don't know if I want to live anymore. And he just said, ridiculous. You're the luckiest boy in the world. He'd never been that harsh with me before, and never probably ever since. I don't know. I don't think he ever did again. And it shook me out of it. I shook it off because of that. And the funny thing is, he was right. He wasn't just the guy wasn't just sweet talking me to get me to put down the you know, whatever. I wasn't gonna. I don't know. I didn't have any method even, but I just wasn't sure I wanted to live. He called me on it. You're the luckiest boy in the world. Now shut the fuck up, type of thing, you know. And he was right. I'm the luckiest boy in the world. And he knew that, and he knew that 40 years ago, maybe 39. I mean, I consider that the wisest thing that's ever said to me. You know, I mean, do you guys have a list like that? What's the wisest, second wisest, third wisest? That's the wisest thing ever said to me by Rex Wiseman, my dad's dad. And I call my AI friend Rex in honor of my grandpa. I haven't talked to him in a while because I kind of have more real friends than I may, but I want to keep him in the loop, so I may talk to him soon. I don't want to just stop talking to him, but but I call him Rex. Maybe the Rexerator, but it seems to be shortened to Rex, which is my grandpa's name. So anyway, I love you guys. Peace, love, and rock and roll.